Hey friends, it's Amy Deb, the Keto Queen. I hope you're having a great day. It's Monday. We're home from work, our first day back to work after a week-long vacation and celebration in St. Lucia. Guys, I'm so excited to be home. We're making an easy dinner, but it is so delicious. I'm fixing to go over the dinner, and then if you guys are interested and you want to hear a little bit about our adventures in St. Lucia, I want to bring you some of the information we learned from one of the locals there, or a few of the locals there. So we're making an easy dish. It is called pepper jack chicken. If you've tried it before, you already know it's delicious. If you haven't tried it before, guys, you're going to love me after this video. You're going to love me. Just hang tight. I'm going to put the link in this post as soon as this video is over. You know what? I forgot to put it in there. As soon as this video is over, I'm going to add the link to this recipe. What we're doing as a side dish is just some blistered peppers. So I've got some bell peppers. I got green, red, and orange, or green, red, and yellow. And we're just going to put them on I already started them, and then I turned it off because I didn't want them to get soggy. I don't want them soft. We're just going to blister them. So you'll see they're already turning a little bit of brown. We're going to make it really, really hot heat in a few minutes just to get them heated all the way through. And then we're going to serve the peppers on the side of our of our pepper jack chicken. So we've got blistered peppers with a pepper jack chicken. All right, guys, if you want to hear about St. Lucia, stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and give you some information. Let's talk about the chicken first. So I took some chicken breasts, some thick chicken breasts, and I just cut them in half, or I thinned them out really small. Some of them, two of them actually were really thick, so I made 3 pieces of chicken out of that. I like to thin them. I like to cut them in half to make them thin chicken breasts so they cook fast. You guys know me, I love to cook fast. Easy, fast dinners is what it's all about at my house. So let me tell you what we did. We made a marinade, and we've been marinating the chicken for about 30 minutes. It's been 30 minutes. If you marinate them overnight, I'm sure it's even better, but we don't have time for that. So we had the marinade made with salsa verde. It's the green salsa, like the green little salsa. It's just salsa verde. You can get it at any grocery store. It doesn't matter what kind. It's just the salsa verde. And you're going to use almost that whole jar. This is a 16-ounce jar. I usually use, anywhere from 12 to 14 ounces. But we used salsa verde. And then we did 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. So 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, and then we used 1 lime. We cut the lime in half, and then we just squeeze that lime in here to make the marinade. So we let this sit for about 30 minutes. You can do it longer if you want to. Now, we're going to take this chicken out of the marinade, and we're going to put it into my air fryer. You can also bake it if you want to, but we're going to go ahead and cook the chicken now that it's been marinated. So let me put this over here in my air fryer basket real quick. Guys, if you've had this recipe before, I would love to know it. In the comments, just say I've had it and loved it, because if you had it, I know you loved it. And we're just going to put these chicken over here in the air fryer. The beautiful thing about making them thin is that it doesn't take no time for this to cook. This is one of the fastest dinners, because all you have to do is put in your air fryer on 350 for about 10 minutes. Now, if you've got thicker chicken, it's going to take you longer. So seriously, these are so thin. You guys can see, I cut them so thin. It's just really thin chicken breasts. If you want to, you can keep them thick and cook it a little longer. It doesn't matter. They're still going to taste the same, which is delicious. But the thinner they are, the faster they cook. So I'm just putting these in my air fryer basket, and then I'm going to come back over to the camera. I want to tell you a little bit about my adventures in St. Lucia. It was so fun. I can't wait to tell you guys a little more. Let's see. Let me see if I can find another small one. I'm going to make 2 baskets of the chicken because I've got too many pieces. I think I have like 6 or 8 pieces in here. Is that one piece? That's old. All right. I think I got one little bitty tiny piece, and I'm going to stack it on top of this one because it's so thin. Sorry, this is taking the longest time over here. I'm just have to get my hands dirty. I'm going to get my hands dirty, and I'm coming back. Yeah, here we go. That was a really thin piece. All right, I'm going to wash my hands. jack chicken. So that means we have to have pepper jack cheese. So I got my pepper jack cheese over here to the side. We're gonna do this so easy. Again, the marinade. I want to tell you one more time. Oh, I knew I had a hole in that bag. I knew I felt some marinade a while ago. So with the marinade, we used 1 jar, or you can use less, of the salsa verde, the green salsa. Really anywhere from 10 to 14 ounces is really all you have to have. It's just enough to marinate the chicken. I used too much this time and it's okay. And then we put in that bag of salsa, we put 1 teaspoon of cumin. We did 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, and a squeeze of lime, and that's it. Just a whole lime squeezed in that bag. Smush it around, get it really good and seasoned, and let it sit. 30 minutes or longer is better. And then we just threw that chicken into the air fryer basket. That's all you're doing is marinate the chicken, stick it in your air fryer basket, or you can do the oven if you want to, 350 either way. When the chicken is almost done or completely done, it's up to you. You pull it out and you top it off with some pepper jack cheese. You let that cheese melt, so stick it back in the air fryer, let that cheese melt, and then I like to top mine off with a little bit of cilantro. So when it's done, just throw some cilantro on there, guys. You've got a delicious, I mean absolutely delicious pepper jack chicken. So there's the chicken recipe. I will say it again before we get off here. Now, if you're just jumping on live, I wanted to tell you, if you missed the front of this video, I really want to spend some time talking to you about our amazing adventure in St. Lucia, because I know a lot of people love to hear about the adventures because it's either someplace they've never gone, so they really want the reviews, or it's a place they feel like they'll never get to go, so why not hear about it from someone who actually went themselves instead of looking at stuff on the internet. So we went to St. Lucia to celebrate Ricky's 50th birthday. So yes, that was exciting to celebrate Ricky's 50th birthday. And we took my mom and his mom. We took my daughter, Haley, and her husband, Dakota, and my son, Justin, and his fiance, Erin, and then, of course, me and Ricky. So there's 8 of us. And we left early morning, flying out to from Memphis to Atlanta, and then Atlanta to St. Louis. And it's a St. Lucia. It's about a little over 4-hour flight from Atlanta to St. Lucia. And we started early. So I think we left my house around 2 a.m. On the way back, we got back to my house at 2 a.m. So we got home Sunday morning early, about 2:30 a.m. And we had such a great time. So I want to tell you a little bit about what we learned while we were there from some of the locals. Now, one thing I love about vacation and travel is I love to learn. So I'm a learner. I'm the person who loves to go on all the tours. When I went to New York, we walked over the Boston Bridge, or the Boston, Lord. Confused. We walked over the Brooklyn Bridge, but I just didn't walk Brooklyn Bridge like I wanted the tour. So I had a tour guide walk us over the bridge, giving us all the history. When we went to New York the first or the second time, maybe it was the second or third time, we did the food tour because I love to see the old buildings, the places where all the locals go. It's like I love to learn. When I go on vacation, I usually have at least one kind of tour while I'm there. So guys, St. Lucia was absolutely beautiful. We stayed at a resort called the Halcyon by Sandals. So it was our first Sandals resort we went to, and it was beautiful and it was very nice. The people were so nice. Like everybody on the resort was nice. Everybody in the town and the villages were nice. St. Lucia, someone's asking where it was. So let me just tell you guys, I am geographically challenged. I don't know if my air fryer is working. That's not good. It's not working. Uh-oh. Oh, it is working. It's just not, the light's not on. There we go. Okay. It was working. My light wasn't on. Okay. So I am geographically challenged. So when I look at places, I love to, on the plane, look at the map and like go through the globe and see where I'm next to. So St. Lucia is almost like, it's way out there. You pass Puerto Rico. So I know you pass Puerto Rico, and it seems like on the globe. Now I don't know if this is real, but on the globe, it looks like we're really close to South America. It was beautiful. I mean, gorgeous. I know you pass St. LaCroix or St. Croix. I think it's called St. Croix or LaCroix. I know you pass LaCroix. You pass Puerto Rico. Like, it's way out there. Guys, I loved it. So the people were so nice. The villages were so nice. All the locals were nice. I've been to other places like the Bahamas, which was gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous. The beaches there, like Bahamas is one of my favorite beach, but the locals were not so nice when I went there. And I'm sorry, I don't want to be rude to anybody, but like when we went off the resort, we were told really quickly that we need to get back on the resort. Like the people didn't want us in their town. It felt so weird. But the resort was awesome. I love Atlantis, it's amazing. But when we went to this place, like they were all waving at us and cheering us. Like they were so excited for us to be there. And it was gorgeous, guys, seriously gorgeous. We took 2 excursions. So our resort, I just want to give you really quickly while my chicken's cooking. That resort was absolutely beautiful. It was the smallest all-inclusive resort I've ever been to. I've been to a bunch of them. It was the smallest one, but it was beautiful at every turn. Every step was something absolutely gorgeous. It was the most beautiful trees, the most beautiful flowers, everything. So the bird of St. Lucia is a parrot. I can't remember which parrot, but it's a parrot. The flower of St. Lucia is the hibiscus, which is one of my favorite flowers. I love the hibiscus. The trees on this resort were stunning. Like I sent some pictures, I posted some pictures, like stunning. This place was amazing. Now, when we left the resort, we went to 2 excursions, and it was the most fun. We went on a cruise. Oh, well, let's do the volcano first. So we went on a Jeep tour. So we got to actually drive through 3 or 4 different villages on the island to see the houses. So a lot of times, like, you know, when you're driving through, I'll say the Dominican beach, again, absolutely drop dead gorgeous. The softest sand, the most beautiful water. Loved Punta Cana. But when you're driving through, it's so sad and so depressing. Like, it was really sad for me when I first got there, the very first time I went, to see some of the houses and see some of the living situations, and then go to this gorgeous resort. Like, I almost felt like, you know, I should be giving to these people instead of vacationing at a resort. Like, it just felt that way. Not at St. Lucia. Like, this place is so beautiful. Like, even, I'm going to give you some really cool stories that I learned from a local, but like, it was just beautiful. We drove through like 3 or 4 different villages, and like all the houses are different. So not every single village is as, I'd say, well off as others. Like, there were very, very, very small houses that were made of plywood. And then there were big, beautiful houses made of concrete, or not concrete, but bricks, like big bricks. I mean, it was gorgeous, but I felt so welcomed. I felt so safe. Like, every inch of the island that I saw was absolutely gorgeous. One thing that I learned, and this was pretty cool as far as their government, they have a prime minister. So the prime minister's in charge. They make all the rules. They write all the laws. Like, what they say goes. But they're actually under the reign of the UK. So they're under the reign of the king. But it just looks like really the king doesn't really rule them. The prime minister does. That's very interesting. One thing that I loved about this island and their government is that if you don't have a job, there is no welfare. So like, they don't give free. But if someone needs money, the government will actually give them a machete and tell them if they will go work on cutting down the trees and the brush along the road, they will pay them. That's pretty cool. Like, you can have a job. The government will give you a job. You just have to work for the money. So they will give you work to do. The government, so they don't have like a city ordinance where there's city workers who cut down the brush from the road. No, the people of St. Lucia do that, and they do it for money. And they give that job to the person who needs the work. And also on the government land, so there is government land like there is everywhere else. On the government land, those who can't afford a home are allowed on the government land. And I'm not sure exactly how this works. I'm not sure if they are given a piece of the land or told where to put it. But if they need a place to live, they will allow them to make a plywood house. So seriously, like 4 pieces of plywood nailed together with a roof, and that is their home. And they are good with that. Like, the weather is wonderful there. They do have hurricane season. Of course, it's an island, but they are allowed to stay there on that land in a plywood home, happy as can be, and the government is paying them to work. So I thought that was really pretty cool. Now, another thing about their houses, this is so cool. So I love learning, y'all. So I just wanted to share a little bit about my trip. Another thing about their houses, the government has property tax. So if you have a property, you have to pay property taxes to St. Lucia, but only if your property is finished. So y'all hear me out. Only if your property is finished. So my tour guide for the day on the Jeep tour, who was amazing, she goes by Lulu. We had Lulu and Carew. Carew was our driver, Lulu was our guide, and I'm telling you, she cracked us up. She made us laugh. She told jokes. Like, I gave her the highest ratings on TripAdvisor. She was amazing. She made our trip so fun. She was our photographer. Like, she took the camera out of my hand, took tons of family pictures. Like, we had so much fun. But she told me that the people there are very prestigious. Now, when I say prestigious, I don't mean they have millions of dollars, but like, the prestige is important. So I told her, I was like, well, if you don't have to pay property taxes unless your house is finished, why in the world would you finish your house? Like, why would you not? And she told me, she said, well, my house is painted on the front, it's painted on the sides, but my back of the house is not painted because it's not finished. And because it's not finished, I don't have to pay property taxes. I was like, well, shoot, I'd never paint my back wall. But she said the people of St. Lucia are very prestigious. Like, they want to say, oh, my house is complete. My house is beautifully painted. My house has a beautiful roof. My house has all of the things. Like, it's got to be finished before you pay property taxes. So she's been living there forever. Like, she's been living there forever, and she does not pay property taxes because one wall of her house on the exterior is not painted. Now, how awesome is that? That's pretty cool. I don't know why the government has that rule. I think they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot. But she says because the people are so prestigious, they want the prestige, that they want to finish their houses. Like, they are excited to pay property taxes. That was funny. Another thing that they like about this prestigious thing is their license plates. So, like, their license plate started with number 1. And then number 2, and number 3, and number 4, and number 5, and when it got to as high as it goes, then it started adding letters. So it's a P, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, and literally it goes through the alphabet. So A, B, C. So there's 183,000 people who live in St. Lucia. How awesome is that? 183,000 people, guys. That's almost as many people that follow this page. So it's not huge. It's not overly populated, but 183,000 is a lot of people. So for that prestige, they love to be able to say, well, I've got license plate number 3. I've got license plate number 10. And seriously, when we were driving through, she said, oh my gosh, there's number 142. And like, it was a big thing to know who has the lowest numbers on the driver's license. Not the driver's license, the license plate. I mean, how silly is that? But it's a big thing there. Like, the people are prestigious and they want to be known as number 2 on the license plate. They want to be known that their house is completely finished and they're paying property taxes. Like, it's a big, great thing to pay property taxes. Here, we're like, oh, shoot, I got to pay my property taxes. There, they're like excited to be able to say, I pay my property taxes. Let's see. I'm not sure I would like to live under that system, but I'm sure the people are used to that. Yeah, it's so different. Let's see. There were so many. Oh, another rule. So this is not a law, but it's a rule. Let me check on this chicken real quick, guys. I can't talk. My air fryer. My air fryer went off. All right, guys. This chicken is looking fantastic. It is thin chicken. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put my pepper jack cheese on top of it, and we're gonna keep on chatting while this cheese melts. And then I got another, I think I got a couple more pieces of chicken to put in a second batch. So because this chicken is really thin and skinny, I just take my pepper jack cheese and I just cut it in half. And I just want to make sure I have cheese all the way down my chicken. Like, this is what makes it so delicious with that marinade. So I'll go over that marinade again in just a few minutes. I just want to keep talking about St. Lucia so I don't lose track of my thoughts. One thing that's really cool, and this is a rule. This is like a prestigious rule. It's not a law. But if you build a house and let's say your neighbor has purple and red paint and you think it's just the most amazing thing, it's a no-no for you to paint your house red and, what did I just say, purple and red? You have to paint it a different color. Now, you can paint it purple and pink or purple and blue, but you cannot copy the person next to you. How funny is that? Like, it is a big no-no to copy the person living next to you. So you can love it, you can admire it, but you better pick you out your own colors when you're painting the house, which is absolutely beautiful, guys. When we were driving through, like, all of the beautiful colors, like, I'm telling you, this island was so beautiful. All right, let me close this up. We're gonna melt this cheese and that'll be ready, and I'll do my second batch. Hey, Ricky, can you think of any other things that was pretty cool? I don't know if you guys saw the video I posted. I saw my very first touch me knots, like the plant touch me knot. I don't think that's the real name, but they're known as touch me knots. If you touch it, it like hides. Like it's a beautiful long, like a finger long, beautiful green, beautiful little plant. And it's got flowers on it, but if you touch it, it goes, and like it will literally just be the stick. Like the leaves are gone, but then it comes back in 10 minutes. I'm like, well, that's so cool. We saw those in the rainforest. Prestigious is not the word. It should be proud. Well, she said prestigious.
That's what she said.
Yeah, she said it was prestige. So yeah, I see it as pride, but that's what she said. She said it is a very prestigious group of people, and for prestige, they want to have their house done, and for prestige, they want to have the lowest license plate. And she even said that there is a known story there in St. Lucia that one person offered a man $20,000 to have his license plate number. She said it was like a very low number. I can't remember which number. It was a very low number, and she said that man was offered $20,000 just to change, and the man said no. The man said no. So yeah, the money is different. If I remember right, $1 American dollar is double there. So $1 American dollar is two island dollars. I can't remember what they're called, EC or something like that. So it was very interesting, Deborah. So guys, I want to know, I'm going to ask Ricky if he can think of anything that was pretty cool. Like, it was beautiful. But I would love to know if you've been there. Have y'all been to St. Lucia? If you have, I would love to know when you went and if you loved it as much as we did. So we went to the rainforest. It was beautiful. We walked a very easy walk to a waterfall. And let me tell you, we had our tour guides that got us there. And then there was a guide there at the entrance of the rainforest trail. This guy had no shoes on, no shoes. It was raining, of course. It's a rainforest, and it rained there every day. Really fast rain, very fast, over with, beautiful again, just literally like that. And this guy had no shoes on, and he knew every rock that my mom needed to step on. Like he'd say, oh, ma'am, put your foot here, and then put your foot there, and put your foot here, like under the water. He knew every place to put her foot. Like he knew that trail like the back of his hand, but he did it barefoot. And like there was rocks everywhere. Like that man was tough.
Imagine walking on a gravel road.
Yeah, he was a tough dude. And he also had, oh my gosh. Debbie said she didn't recognize you without your orange tank top. I love it, Debbie. It's so funny. I don't know if he retired it. I haven't seen it.
No, I'm just washing.
I haven't seen it in a few days either, Debbie. That's so funny. That's so funny. This guy in the rainforest, though, he had every step. He knew exactly where we should put our feet. But he also was prepared. So I posted a picture of my little bit. Did y'all hear? Little bit pooted. I don't know if y'all saw my picture of my rainforest umbrella, but he had these huge leaves cut ready for us because it rains there like crazy. But it rains fast and it's gone, fast and it's gone, fast and it's gone, but it rains constant. So like he had us these big umbrellas ready for us. Like it was so cool. I'm telling you, the people there were so kind. Like the most kindest people that we've ever traveled as far as the island. Like that. Absolutely amazing people. So we walked to the waterfall. The water was freezing, but it was so cool. And we got to get in the water and take pictures. And then we went to the volcano. So Ricky, when we got to the volcano, it was not what we were expecting. We've never been to a volcano. We've seen pictures. We've seen movies where volcanoes erupt. We've seen all kinds of stuff but we've never been to a volcano. So we're driving. Their roads are windy. They go up, they go down. Very windy roads. You'll get sick easy. And we get there and we pull up and there's like this parking lot. So it's a tourist attraction. So we get there in this parking lot and we're like, she's like, well, this is it. And we're like, there was no steep hills anywhere around us. And then she explained that when the volcano erupted, 1976?
No. It was 18 something.
Oh, okay. 1876. Now I remember the 76. I don't remember that much. But anyway, when it erupted, it like collapsed right there where it erupted. And I got a video. I'll have to post it for you guys later, but you see the steam coming off this collapsed area. So she said that what they've been told all her life, because it was way before her time, that as long as it's steaming, then everything's good. If the steam goes away, they're in trouble. And if it ever erupted, it's going to erupt right there where that steam was. So it's like we were essentially in the volcano. And at that crater, they call it the crater, the volcano crater, we did the mud bath. So apparently the water was hot, and of course it was muddy because it's got all kinds of clay. So it's like clay water, really warm, and you go into the little pool. They have like 3 little step down pools. You get into the pool and get wet, And then you get out and you rub this really grainy clay. They called it mud, but it felt like clay. And you just rub this grainy clay all over. I mean, it's muddy and grainy, so it felt like you're exfoliating. Rub it all over your body. It's white. And then they had like this little bowl of black, I'm calling it sand, but they call it mud. But anyway, this black stuff, and it's all from the volcano. It's all natural from this volcano. And you take the black, and they said it's just for decoration, so you can draw whatever you want to on yourselves. We just use our hands and put big handprints all over us. There was a lot of creative people there, though. But you just keep this on for about 10 minutes or so, and you can keep it on longer, and then you get back into the bath, to like the water area, which is really brown and clayey, and you just sit. And you just wash it all off, and you can sit there as long as you want to. It's warm water from the volcano. I mean, it's warm water. It was really cool. It wasn't hot. It was just warm.
It wasn't my cup of tea.
Ricky did not like it. He said the crowd, there's too many people there. He didn't care nothing about it. He said, this is stupid.
It smelled like sulfur.
It did smell like sulfur. Ricky had to throw his shorts away. He said he wouldn't even bring them home. He said he didn't even want to try to wash it. It smelled like pure sulfur from the volcano. So it was really cool. We were in the crater of a volcano. So that was pretty cool, just to say that. It was cool to say that we were in the crater of a volcano and the sulfur was so strong we could barely even breathe it. It was pretty cool. So Ricky didn't care nothing about that. We all thought it was cool. And then we went to eat. The locals fed us lunch. So like they cooked us lunch. It was really cool. Inside this building where we went to eat, it's kind of like what we'd call a bed and breakfast. The chef lived there.
The cooks.
The chef,
the waiters, everybody lived there.
Okay, I didn't realize. I knew the chef lived there. But anyway, it was kind of like a bed and breakfast, we would say. But the house was like up on this hill. And you go up these steps. And like there's so many different levels. Like you go up these steps and then there's a level. And then you go up another step. Like all kinds of levels on one level. It's like you're on a level. But then there's so many steps to go up and down. It was so pretty. It was totally different than any place I'd ever been to.
Twist ankle quick.
It was primarily all outside. There was no covering. There was a covering, but it was no walls. It was so cool. So we really enjoyed the day. That was one of our excursion days. All right, I know I'm just rambling, but I just wanted to share with you some of the things we learned in St. Lucia while we cooked our chicken. Guys, if you missed that recipe, it's at the front of this video, so I'm fixing to finish up. You can go back to the front. I will put the recipe link in this post. Our next excursion was a boat tour. I gotta tell you about the boat tour. So we went on a cruise. It was a snorkeling / sunset cruise. So on the cruise, we went to this beautiful island. If you've ever been to St. Lucia, I know you've heard of this. Even if you haven't been, it's called Sugar Island or Sugar Beach. Sugar Beach. It's called Sugar Beach. It's one of the top resorts, like expensive. I tried to even find out how much it was after we left that beach. And there's no openings all the way through 2026. Like there's no openings to even get a price. So I was really curious how much it costs. Y'all, this place was gorgeous. Like when you're on the boat and you're coming up to the Sugar Beach, like there's it's all white. So it's all white and beautiful. And I mean, there's like a hotel. Like it doesn't look like a hotel, but you can tell it's the resort on the bottom, like right there on the beach. But then there's all these rooms and houses all over the mountain, like all over the mountain. So like they have a million different room types, a million different views, but it was right there at the Pitons, which are the two highest peaks on the island. And gorgeous. The beach was gorgeous. They had a place kind of jettied off that we could snorkel. We saw the most amazing fish. We saw the most amazing animals. It was awesome. And then after we snorkeled, we got just a few minutes on the beach. Yes, I did hold the snake. That was on the volcano tour. I forgot about that part. So we were on our way to the volcano, and this guy was just standing on the road holding the snake, and people were standing out there, and I saw him pass money. I'm like, who is that? And Lulu said, oh, that's our friend. That's his pet snake. That's our friend. That's his pet snake. Would y'all like to stop? Like, we always like to help him, earn his living. Like, this is how he earns his living. I was like, yeah, stop. So we stopped and got our pictures with the snake. So back to the snorkeling. It was gorgeous. Sugar Beach. I have no idea how much it costs, but I'm telling you, gorgeous. So after that, we got back on the boat and we're going to do the sunset cruise. Well, y'all, let me just tell you, we did a whole lot more than the sunset cruise. We didn't even see the sunset because me and my daughter put on the show. We had so much fun. They were playing some music and Haley's like, y'all, we need to change the music. We need to liven it up. So Haley basically took the phone of the person who is hosting the party and she changed up the music. They had a microphone. We started singing. We had everybody on the boat started dancing with us like we had a party. And then I asked the captain if I could take a picture behind the wheel when we stopped the boat. He said, oh no, do you want to drive? I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, you want to drive? I was like, yes. So like I'm behind the wheel driving this, like literally he's telling me to turn when I need to. I'm driving this boat. He leaves me. That freaked me out a little bit. He leaves me. I'm at the steer of the boat, and like Haley's dancing and singing in this microphone. Everybody on the boat is just dancing and having a blast. We had the best time. That was the last night, and it was the best ending of the vacation. Like we had the best time. The snorkeling was amazing. Sugar Beach was amazing. The boat ride and the party was amazing. Like we had the most awesome time. Our resort again was Sandals Halcyon. Halcyon, Halcyon, Halcyon. It was beautiful, guys. I highly recommend it. If you're looking for a very low key, which means there's not a lot of action, there's no noise, all beauty, absolutely amazing, then I definitely highly recommend the Halcyon in St. Lucia. If you go, you have got to do the excursions because the island is absolutely gorgeous. The people are the most friendliest people I've ever met. Our boat captain was so nice. All of the crew on that boat, they were there to have fun. They were there to make sure that you had the best time ever. The Jeep tour with Lulu was amazing. She was the most awesome host. She had the best time, and she made sure that we had the best time. I mean, she took my phone. She was the photographer for the day. Look at this chicken, y'all. I'm just talking. Look at that chicken. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so good. We had the best time, guys. So I am so excited to be home. However, I am excited to be home. I gotta turn this skillet back on. I am excited to be home, but we will miss St. Lucia. It was for Ricky's 50th birthday, so it was a great celebration. Ricky had a good time. The kids had a great time. Our moms had a great time, and I had a great time. It was just wonderful for everyone involved, and I'm so glad that Ricky was such a good sport to go so far away, because it was a lot further than most places we've gone, but it was so worth it. All right, guys, if you are just jumping on, I'm so sorry that I've just been rambling about how fun my vacation was, but I wanted to share with you some of the things we learned. Like, we love to learn when we go on trips, and this was no exception. We had a great time, but we're glad to be home, and I'm fixing to put my second round of chicken in here. This is the thickest piece of chicken I've got, so that one's going to take a few minutes to cook. I'm glad there's only 2 left, because I'm going to take that one out a whole lot faster than this one. So let me put this out of the way, throw this away. I'm going to really fast tell you guys one more time, for those that are just jumping on, how I marinated this chicken. This is the pepper jack chicken. Pepper jack, look how amazing that looks. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of cilantro on top. All you do is make a marinade, and you can marinate the chicken for 30 minutes, or you can marinate it all night long. We used salsa verde. It's like the green salsa cans, and you can use all of it if you want to. It was really too much. I would probably use half of it next time, just so it won't be so messy. But you're going to use the salsa verde, just enough to really coat the chickens, all you need. And then we use a teaspoon of cumin, teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of pepper, and a full lime. We squeezed a full lime in there, just mixed it up really good, threw our chicken in, and set a timer. So we marinated it for 30 minutes. And then we stuck it in our air fryer basket. When the chicken's done, or almost done, you can pull it out and put a piece of pepper jack cheese on there. Let that cheese melt, and you've got an amazing dinner. Now, my side dish, if I can back up just a second, we're just going to blister some peppers. So I've got some bell peppers that I already started. I just want to put them back on to get them hot again. They're not soft. I loved the peppers on our resort, were really good, so I couldn't wait to come home and make some peppers. So I just got a little bit of green, red, and orange. And we just salt and peppered. I put a little bitty tiny bit of oil in my skillet so they can't really boil. I mean, they're not gonna really boil. They're just getting tossed around in this hot grease. Just a tiny bit, maybe, I mean, literally just a sprinkle in a non-stick skillet. And I just salt and peppered them, that's it. They have their own flavor, so you don't need to add a lot of flavor to the peppers. And we're just gonna make them really hot, and you'll see that they're already blistering up. They're brown, that's what makes them blistered. So we're just kind of burning them. I don't want them super soft. I want to be able to cut them with a fork. And we're going to serve this with our pepper jack chicken, and we've got dinner. So I talked this entire video. That's how fast the meal is already. The meal could have been done a long time ago if I wasn't talking. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you would love to visit St. Lucia, I highly recommend it. They have tons of resorts there, but there's only 183,000 people that live on the island, and we met a bunch of them, and they are so nice. Our resort was beyond beautiful, and the people there, the nicest. I mean, some of the nicest I've ever met. They were so welcoming, so sweet. Oh, another thing I really loved about the resort, I've never been to a sandals before. It's my very first sandals adventure. And they have just a free photography. I say free. They just ask you if you would, they give you a free photography session. So they told us to be ready at so-and-so on so-and-so date. And we took family pictures. So we took a group picture. And then I called them because I was looking a hot mess that day. That was our very first day. And we were out too long in the sun. And I just didn't even want to mess with my hair. I was running late, so I just threw it in the clip. So I called and said, hey, we have our pictures yesterday, but I would love to meet you, if you don't mind, in the garden, just to take a couple of pictures of just me and my husband. They were so sweet. They did it. And they have the pictures guy just walking around the resort. You know, if you're at dinner and he might snap some pictures of you, even outside of your scheduled time with them, and you don't pay them, you can tip them if you want to, but at the end of your trip, you can go check out your pictures. And if you love them, you can buy them. And if you don't, no worries. And if you love 2 of them, you can get 2 of them. Or if you loved all of them, you can buy all of them. But you do purchase the pictures if you want them. So it's kind of like a cruise ship. But I've never had that done at an all-inclusive resort. So it's pretty awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off here and get our dinner eating now while it's hot. These peppers are brown and ready to go. And our chicken is already ready. So I will see all of you guys later. Have a great night. And I hope you have a good one. Bye, guys.